Hello, my name is Paul-Beckett, and in this video I'm going to talk about my understanding of love, but more specifically my understanding of love since self-realization, which I realized my true nature about 10 months ago now. And love, it's one of those words, isn't it? We all think we understand it. We've been told this is what love is by society, by our loved ones, by every movie we watch, by every book we read. And really, what we've been taught is love is scarce. There's a scarcity of love. So you need to spend it wisely. So we treat love in a transactional way. And that's kind of like we invest our love and we expect a return from that investment. And then we're balancing up to see, am I receiving enough love for what I've spent out, kind of thing. We trade our love. We treat it almost like a monetary transaction. And society's completely conditioned us to work around love this way. But once I went through self-realization, I just realized, hang on a minute, we've got this wrong. I was like, there's no scarcity of love at all. Once I saw beyond the character that I was playing, we're all just playing characters. We've all been given our characters, we've built our characters up, and that's who we've said we are. But underneath that, all we are is love. And it was mind-blowing for me to realise this. Because with that realisation came, there's no scarcity. There's no lack. I was able to see the love in situations where ordinarily I could have overlooked it. Because sometimes we've just make errors, we've just got strange mutations of love that we've come up with. But if you look hard enough and you look from your true perspective, you can see that there's love everywhere, even if that's someone acting out in a way which is aggressive or, I don't know, difficult in some way, and they're asking for love. It was just, honestly, it blew my mind once I realised. So that got me thinking, we've got this entire thing upside down. The way we've understood love as a scarcity, as a lack, as a transaction, as some kind of commodity to trade, it was just so polar opposite to the way I understood it. And so when I'm in the world, I'm dealing with people. Before it was me, this is me, that is you. Self-realization changed all that for me. I realized once I knew my true nature, I knew the true nature of every other being that I was coming across, because we were all the same thing. We're going through this kind of illusion of separation, but we're not really. We're not at all. We are just perfect little aspects of the same thing. So could you imagine like a huge body that's made up of billions of cells? It was almost like each one of those billions of cells became self-aware. And when they became self-aware, they were like, what am I? And so then they looked around, they were like, okay, this is where my cell wall finishes. This is the end of my membrane. So everything within this is me. This is me. Everything outside of this is something else. That cell is you. That cell is you. But we've always just been different cells in the same body. And to realize that, how could I not feel the same love that I felt for myself, the same compassion that I wanted to show myself for every single other being? So in that way, I stopped trading my love. I stopped expecting a return. I stopped treating it like a transaction, because I knew that my baseline was love. I knew my baseline was love now. When I come across people, you can still come across really difficult people, don't get me wrong, but it's easier for me now to look for the love in the situation. They're perceiving that there's a lack of love here. That's why they're acting out in this way. Honestly, self-realization changed the way I thought about love. So I wanted to share that, and I wanted to just give anybody who's coming across this video, if this resonates with you, the chance just to look at love from a different perspective. The chance for you, when you're going through like your interactions and your relationships with people, to look for the love in the moment, because it's always there. But quite often it's misconstrued, it's veiled, it can get hidden. It can be hidden so professionally, but it is always there. So what does this mean? What does this mean for me moving forward, and for what I hope you could get from this? It's really to go inside. It's really to go inside of you, and that's not the character. That's not the sum of your experiences. It's really to realize that beyond all of that changing, transient stuff, because our character changes as we go through life. It's not fixed. If I was to move to a different country, I'm sure my character before would have changed to adapt. So if we're really that thing, how concrete is that? Because that can change. An experience can change your character completely. So how concrete is that character? It's not concrete at all. It's so malleable, and the reason it's malleable is because we've made it up. So once I realised my true nature, the closest thing I could put to the personality of whatever the one true creator is love. And once you feel that abundance, because that is the true meaning of abundance. It's another thing we've got upside down. You know, people are like, I want to manifest, I want to get an abundant state of mind. Okay, so I need to feel abundant, and the first thing we do is look outside of ourselves. Okay, well, I'm abundant because I've got this car already. I'm abundant because I've got a decent house. I'm abundant because I've got all of these things outside myself. I mean, yeah, it's a form of abundance, but it's the most surface level form of abundance, because your true abundance lays in you. Your true abundance lays in the fact that you are abundant in love, because you are love. And so coming at it from that point of view, I realised I didn't lack anything, and I've never lacked anything. But playing the game, playing the character, it's so easy to be drawn into the illusion that you lack everything, because you're separate, because you're vulnerable in your eyes, because you're fighting to get what's yours. There's always a threat on the outside. There always needs to be a defence in place just in case. And actually that left me. That completely left me. So I suppose I'm sharing this to kind of get this across, that maybe you could start to kind of have a bit of self-inquiry, look into your relationships with other people, and when things are coming up, I mean, when love is being shown as we think of love, it's easy to go, oh, here's me being loved, someone's doing a nice thing for me. But again, upside down thinking, sometimes that doesn't work out that way. For instance, I left my job recently, and I left it not with no other plan. So I had loved ones who worried for me, because we've been conditioned that to worry for somebody else is a form of love, right? We think it's a kind thing to do. But when I thought about it, I thought, you worrying for me serves me nothing. You're making me no service at all. What you're doing is making yourself sick, and you're offering me the opportunity to feel that along with you, to feel sick with anxiety, to feel sick with worry. But we've been conditioned that to worry for someone is a loving act. But where's the love in that? Because there's no service to the other person. All you're doing is lowering your own vibration and offering that other self the opportunity to lower theirs along with you, to worry about the future. So this is what I mean about these little upside downisms. And honestly, when you see the world from this perspective, so many things are upside down. It's actually a joke. It would be a joke if it wasn't, you know, sometimes so challenging to deal with. But love, first of all, if you can get your head around the fact that there is no scarcity in love, that you can give and give and give and give. And the trick is, we went here to receive. We didn't come here to receive. We came here to give. And when you give, you open up the channels for somebody else to give, so you're naturally receiving. When you give, when you hold back, this is mine, that there's not enough of this, then you block all of your delivery channels as well. You won't receive. So this feeling abundant, this feeling absolutely rooted in love as the core of what you are, opens up an abundance mindset. It lets you know that there is no lack in love, and love is the most important thing in the world. Okay? There's no such thing as hate. It's just people being blind to the evidence, to the presence of love. It's an illusion, as like so many things in this world are. But I'm sharing this in the hope that someone will hear this and will maybe do some self-inquiry When you're in your relationships, when you're trading love, look and see how it feels, and then have a go at just showing it, giving it like it will never run out. To anybody, a stranger on the street, no one's saying you've got to run up and kiss them. No one's saying you've got to run up and buy them a meal. No one's saying you've got to do anything like that. But show that kindness, that willingness, that idea that I am an abundant spring of love, so I can throw that everywhere. The more I give away, the more I have. So try it if you want to. Listen, I can't tell you to do anything, but try it if you want to. But know that that is your true nature. Love is your true nature. I hope you have a really nice day, and I love yous. Bye.